want you all to feel, because that since you are working remotely, that I don't want you to be out of the loop on the scheduling procedure, because it is important to make sure that you understand exactly what you need to do for scheduling. So one of the things I want to do first, because it is an option that you have for high school, is I want to show you this short video that the principal at the Academy of Science and Entrepreneurship created to give you an informative idea of what they have to offer, at their school. It is a high school within MCCSC. It is a different option, but they gave a presentation in person yesterday, and they had also a video made. And so I want to make sure you see this, because I know that it's an option that several students consider. And even if it's something that you're not 100% certain about, I want to make sure that you have this information at your disposal. So if you have any questions, so it should work with sound. If you do not hear the sound, please let me know.
Your families, check out our website.
Probably should start at the beginning, not the end of the video.
Hello, 8th grade online students. This presentation is to tell you about the Academy of Science and Entrepreneurship, which is a high school here in Bloomington, Indiana, that's part of the Monroe County Community School Corporation. So the same school corporation as North or South, except we're a little bit of a different school. You can choose to come to us instead of North or South. And we have a little bit of different offer for all of you. And so we want to tell you more about our school and see if it's something that you might be interested in. So first, let me introduce myself. I'm Alexis Harmon, the principal of the Academy, and my email is here. Also, I wanted to introduce my counselor to you, Brooke Hostetler, and her email. If at any point you want more information about the Academy, or to just kind of talk about what your high school career might look like at the Academy, please reach out to one of us. We're here to talk to you. So, as well as this presentation, you should have also been given access to a couple of things, a flyer that kind of gives you an overview of the Academy, a 4-year plan. So
just to clarify, the flyer and the 4-year plan are basically exactly what they're going to go over in the video. We did have printable copies. I'm happy to email that to anybody that wants it, but they're going to basically be going over the information that would have been on that flyer.
You can see what courses we offer and what your 4 years here at the Academy might look like in terms of the courses you could take. And also some a flyer that is needs to knows that will tell you about our schedule, our school day, transportation, extracurriculars, things like that. I'm also going to talk about that a little bit here. There's also a video that gives you a little bit of the student perspective on the Academy as well. So as I talk to you about what is different about the Academy, it really comes down to these 3 things that we kind of think about as the 3 R's, which is relationship, rigor, and relevance. Relationships, we're a project-based learning school, and we'll talk about more what that means. But and then rigor, we're an early college school as well. So we focus on getting you college experiences and courses and credit early on so that you can start to make headway on college and with some financial savings before you ever leave high school. And that's to go on to a 4-year school or even go on to get a workplace certificate that can help you get a job as well. And then relevance, really big for us that we are connected to the community. And so a lot of what we do has us directly connected to the community as well. So I'm going to talk about all 3 of these more, but I wanted to kind of give you an overview of the 3 things that really makes the Academy different. First of all, before I go into more, I just want to show you a little bit about what our school looks like. Over here, this is the outside of our building. We're right by Crescent Donuts as you move, and so you might know where that is, but we're, and then this is one of our classroom spaces. It's a collaborative space. As I said, we're a project-based learning school, so collaboration is really big about what we do, and so we have these spaces where students can collaborate well together. And then here's a couple more pictures. This is another classroom we have. So we also have kind of a more traditional classroom as well, spaces when we need that kind of setup as well. And then over here, you can kind of see the inside of our school. This is actually a picture from our Halloween costume contest. But we just like the way it kind of showed. Here's our cafeteria where you can kind of gather. And then we have classrooms up here on the second floor in this big open space. So again, coming back to the 3 R's. So I talked a little bit about relationships. 8th graders you'll come in as freshmen. You'll have a seminar class that kind of really supports you and what our school and our project-based learning looks like. You come in as that core group and collaboration. Project-based learning means that you are learning the skills and knowledge that you need, and then you take those skills and knowledge to a real-world problem and you work through it to come up with a solution that has a direct impact on your community. So you'll see that. And then we talked about rigor. Again, we're an early college school. You can earn that college credit early. A lot of it, we have dual credits here at the academy, and dual credit means that you're taking the class at the academy with an academy student or teacher, I'm sorry, but you earn college credit for it, and that college credit is free. So you have that. You also have classes that you can take at Ivy Tech. In fact, our students can take anywhere from 3 to 5 classes on Ivy Tech's campus for free. Those classes are free. So usually that's when you're a junior or a senior, you're spending half your day with us and half your day at Ivy Tech taking classes. That is unique. No other school here can offer those free on-campus classes. And those classes transfer anyway. Ivy Tech classes will transfer to other colleges and universities in Indiana, as well as beyond Indiana. And also, or you can take classes towards, again, a certificate, a workplace certificate that will help prepare you for the job if you're interested in going into a job after high school instead. And then finally, we talked about the relevance. Community connections really important to us. And along with that project-based learning is this idea that anything you do in the skills and knowledge, it's really important to us that it's connected to the community and that it's relevant to what you want to do when you leave high school. So if you're interested in a certain career or field, we're going to put you in a job shadowing experience or an internship. All of our projects have community partners where we maybe do connect with them and help them solve a problem. So for instance, our students in an English class this year, they connected with a local publication, an online publication, and their problem was, how do we kind of connect with our community? And they were worried that people who were quarantining or isolating were going to feel really separated from the community. So the students made video tours of places around Bloomington and even outside of Bloomington and Monroe County and Brown County and all kinds of places, so that people who were feeling like they couldn't get out and they were sad about that could go and watch these videos and at least feel a little bit of connection with their community. We also have something called master classes. And that's this idea that as we explore and we solve these problems and we gain knowledge around those things and we want to do things, you might end up wanting to know about something that we don't have expertise in our building. We have a class called Incubator EDU, and students are starting their own businesses. And so sometimes when students start those businesses, they want to know more about the finances behind it or marketing about it. So we have people who are in finance here in Bloomington, or people who work for marketing companies come to the academy and they teach classes here at the academy. And then the Academy offers 5 career pathways in engineering, digital arts and media, business and entrepreneurship, computer science, and life sciences. So you might think about what your interests are. We don't expect freshmen to know right away what pathway they want. We take some time in freshman year to explore all of them. But if you know that you have an interest in some of these areas, we could be a really good fit for you. Again, this is on one of the handouts that you have, but just to kind of hit some of the need to knows, if you do think the academy would be a great choice for you, you do need to apply. Applications are due March 8th, and the application, you can contact us and we can send you one. You can get one from your middle school counselor, or there's one on our website, which is www.mccsc.edu/ASE. Our schedule, our school day is 8:10 to 2:40. It's a little bit shorter than than North or South because we do provide transportation. And what would happen is you would take your bus either to North or South, and then a bus at North or South would bring you to the academy. And because we have to have time for that bus to come from North or South, we start a little bit later and end a little earlier. Of course, you don't have to drive a bus or ride a bus to the academy either, but if you need it, it's there. We're on a block schedule, so we have 4 classes on Monday and Wednesday, and then 4 classes on Tuesday and Thursday, and then it alternates which classes meet on Fridays. This helps kind of with time management, but also aligning our schedule so that you can participate in those Ivy Tech classes. We offer all diploma types and have, again, lots of college credit courses that you can take, and we have that seminar class that supports. It might sound daunting to take a college class your freshman year, but we make sure that we provide the supports and classes around it so that you are prepared and ready and successful, and our students always are. Extracurriculars, we have a number of clubs and student organizations here in our building that you might see in other schools. We have a dance club, a philosophy club, student council, honor society, all of those, but we don't have an athletic or music program. And so if you are interested in participating in those, any academy student can participate in the athletic or music programs at North or South. And if you're interested, you can go.
So what I would do is I would suggest, if you do have an interest in learning more about the academy, or you want to receive the application, you can contact Mrs. Harmon or Mrs. Hostetler, or you can go directly to the school. It's on the front page of the website, which is www.mccsc.edu, and then it's the /ASC. So I want to make sure you are aware about that, because we do have students that do have that as an option and have considered that for high school. Excuse me. I want to talk about preparations for high school if you're planning to go to Bloomington North. If you are going to Bloomington South, you're going to want to make sure you contact either Mrs. Howell or Mrs. Hyde here at Tri-North, so that can get you the information that you need from Bloomington South. Bloomington South, in terms of the classes, is going to be somewhat similar to North, but Bloomington South has trimesters versus semesters. So you're going to be choosing courses at different times of the year. And so we do have students that go to South, but the majority of you will be going to Bloomington High School North. So yesterday, what I did, and I got several good messages from people asking me about some course selection stuff, is I posted for you information regarding your courses for Bloomington North. One of the things that I gave you, I guess it's not in this document, hang on. One of the things I gave you was this course form that they would traditionally hand out to you when Bloomington North came to the school, or if you were in the building, and we would encourage you to use that to kind of fill out your schedule. We used to have students submit those to when they were actually going to be doing the scheduling themselves, but we're not doing that this year. But that doesn't mean that what I showed you yesterday, I'm going to pull it up here just a second. I had to download it again. This document, this is important. The biggest reason it's important is that it lists all the courses that you're eligible to take as a 9th grader. Now, in some of your situations, if you are already taking, a math class that's above grade level or a science class that's above grade level, it's going to be a little bit different. Okay. But for the majority of our students, this applies to you. All right. And when you go down here to the bottom, this shows you your schedule for 9th grade. It already has a PE requirement. I've had people ask me about testing out of courses. That's something that you're going to have to email Bloomington North High School directly for. We do not answer the questions on that, nor do the counselors here. So that would be a question that you would have to ask Mr. Chafin, who is the 9th grade counselor. In the video I showed you yesterday, I highlighted his contact information at the very end. He is going to be here next week. We're still trying to figure out if we can do a live session with him, a Q&A session, but at the very least, if you have questions that you need answers for, we can try to make sure he answers those while he's here, even if it's in something where I go over it the next day, or you can obviously contact them directly. But like I said, for a lot of you that have older siblings, you're going to want to talk to them first and foremost, because they can give you a lot of that information that you may need. Verl, yes.
Where and when do we turn something like this in?
You don't actually turn this in. The submission for you in doing your class schedule submission, we're still working out those details. What the kids are doing in person is they are submitting their schedules in person on February 3rd. What I'm hoping we can do is stream a live Teams meeting while they're here, and they can go through that process with you while you're at home. It's not going to be a situation where you would have to come in the building to do that. So it's done on Skyward. So what I'm going to be doing is working with Mrs. Hyde and the North counselors to make sure that you have the same opportunity to do that, even though it's going to be done remotely. Okay, so it's going to be the first week of February. I'm just trying to get more details to make sure that we can do this during a live session. Okay. I've had some people ask me about the pathway for social studies and what they should be taking for their 9th grade class. Okay, so what I did is I made this flow chart. I'm going to pull it up here. It's nothing different than what is really posted on the website, but it gives you, some kind of information about what you need to do in terms of focusing the priorities. First of all, these two areas, right? Your focus. I'm trying to write on here. Why can't I write on here? Your focus needs to be on the left two boxes. Okay, there we go. This is what your priority needs to be. You don't need to be worrying about your 11th grade or 12th grade years, because those are set. You take U.S. history as a junior. You take a semester of government and a semester of economics as a senior. There are AP offerings for that and honors offerings, I believe, for that. That's not anything you need to worry about. And these two course offerings do not change. You can't change the order of those two. You cannot take U.S. history or AP U.S. history as a 9th grader. You cannot do that. Okay. So, and I'll talk about AP in just a minute in honors classes. This is really what you need to decide on these two boxes. What's your path? Okay, because you have to take 6 credits, which is 3 years of social studies in order to graduate. You only have to take 3 required courses to graduate, even with an academic honors diploma. Now, with that said, you also have a number of electives that you need to fill on your schedule. And my personal opinion, and this is me, is that you shouldn't skip a year of a core subject. Okay? The video that I posted, and I also guided you to, the one that's specifically about the social studies department, said that if you are on that honors or AP track, which again, we're talking about a high ability class here that I'm talking to, that's what a lot of you are going to be considering, obviously. They said that if you are considering that AP track, that you might consider taking this as a 9th grader. Intro to Social Sciences 1 and 2. The reason why it's 1 and 2 is it's semester 1, semester 2. You will notice on that sheet that I gave you that has all the courses listed and the boxes at the bottom, that these courses are coded first semester, second semester. Why? Because they have to be able to have that separated by semester, even though it may be a full year course when you submit them in Skyward. Okay. Now, if this is not your option, if you don't want to take that, then your option your freshman year is to take Geography and History of the World, which does have an honors section. Okay. That's the only class, required social studies class, that you can take as a 9th grader. Okay, these other two, I see in just a second, Sinead. The World History course, which is also offered as an AP course, is not offered until you are a 10th grader. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Could you take Intro to Social Sciences and Geography and History of the World both
Yeah.
as a ninth grader?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can, because you're going to have to fill out electives. You know, if you go back to the sheet I gave you, you have your PE requirement, your English requirement. Unless you're already taking a high school level biology class, which I know some people are, you're automatically going to be placed in Biology 1, whether that's the regular section or the honors section. The science department does that automatically. Okay. I see your hands raised in just a second. So you're going to have to fill in a lot of electives. Your math placement is not automatically in there because math placements are all over the place. If you're in Algebra 1 right now, you're going to take geometry next year. If you're in geometry now, my assumption is you're taking Algebra 2. All right. A lot of that is going to depend on what specific level you are on, or in rather, in that classroom. Island, go ahead, and then I'll get to the other, Adela and Maya.
So is honors social sciences or like world history available as an elective through 11th and 12th grade, or just your first 2 years?
So you could take, unless it's an elective, which when I said here, these are the required courses. So you would not take Geography and History of the World as your required class and then take this as an elective, because it won't count as an elective. To my knowledge, and I'm fairly certain about this, the only electives that are offered for Bloomington North are the ones that are going to be marked as electives in the course guide, the full guide. So you wouldn't take both Geography and History of the World and World History. You would choose one or the other to fulfill that academic requirement. Okay. Adela?
Why would you recommend doing Intro to Social Sciences if we want to do higher ability classes?
Yeah, that's a good question. I obviously think that you all could take the honors classes. That's, you don't need my recommendation. You don't need me to sign off on it. That's something that you could do already. It really depends on, honestly, what I think. If you see yourself as taking honors and AP courses in social studies, then you should take the elective. And that's something that they do recommend you take. Now, whether you take that as a 9th grader or a 10th grader, it doesn't matter. But like Sinead asked, you could technically take both of them if you have a spot to fill on your schedule for an elective. So it really depends on, okay, like for example, if you see yourself wanting to take the world history course as a 10th grader, then take the intro class next year and then take the world history class, which does have an AP component. And AP, and I've had some questions about this, AP is advanced placement. Basically writes the curriculum for AP, because AP courses give you college credit, and AP courses are required, as part of the pathway to getting, it's one of the options to getting an academic honors diploma. I want to show you that real quick so that you see this. It may have been something that you might have overlooked. Because I know a lot of you are obviously considering, Maya, I'm going to get to your question in just a second. I know a lot of you are considering this. So this document, this is that course document I gave you. I sent out to you earlier, okay? If you scroll down to the diploma requirements, okay, you have Core 40 and then Core 40 with academic honors, Core 40 with technical honors, etc. If you go all the way down to the very last part, this right here, this column right here talks to you about the requirements. It says right here, complete one of the following requirements here in order to achieve an academic honors diploma. And one of those, and one that is the most common, is earning 4 credits and 2 or more AP courses. The biggest misconception that people have is that, oh my gosh, I have to take every honors class, I have to take every AP course available to get an academic honors diploma, and that's just not correct. That's why looking at the diploma requirements and making sure you read through those carefully is important, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself with too many advanced classes if you don't think you can handle it. The other thing I will tell you though, and this is specified, and this is why this document's here, is that honors and AP courses are weighted differently. There's a section in here, and this is something that you're going to have to look at yourself. You do get a weighted impact on your GPA by taking AP and honors courses and achieving the minimum grade, which again, it's different between honors and AP, and you'll have to look at the document for that. Maya?
So if you take Intro to Social Sciences and the Geography and World History in the same year, could you get 4 credits, or would that just count for 2?
So I'm going to go back to that. So the intro class, Intro to Social Science, which the description is a little bit different on that sheet, it is an elective. And a lot of times when people hear that it's elective, they kind of like, oh, it's an elective, but what it does is it kind of preps you for the rigor that you should expect and the types of class you should expect when you're taking other honors and AP courses for social studies. So if you take intro as a ninth grader, and you do not want to take your required social studies course your ninth grade, then you're going to decide either between, okay, I'm going to go and do geography or I'm going to do world history. All right. There is an AP option for world history, but there is not for geography and history of the world. Okay. I don't know. Did that answer your question, Maya? I didn't mean to confuse you further.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So that basically covers social studies. Now, obviously, you need to think about this approach for all your subjects, but the good thing is that you only need to really be focusing right now on your ninth grade classes. Okay. You are going to be hearing something about a 4-year plan that, hang on a second here. I'm trying to pull that up. Sorry, I got like a million different windows going here. You're going to hear a lot about a 4-year plan, which is something that you're going to have to kind of be thinking about. And we are going to
Did he just get kicked out?
I think his camera.
He's still in
might
the
just
meeting,
turned off.
but he turned his camera off and is muted.
I'm here.
Okay.
I
Hello.
think I got booted. I don't know what happened. I lost my, see, I have my iPad up too, so I can look for questions if people have them. So we're not done yet, so don't leave. I don't know what happened there. Cassie, what's your question?
On the sheet that you gave us, it'll say like geography honors -1 or geography honors -2. I was wondering
It's a
what
full year class. It's just broken down by semester because they have to code it differently when you enter the class in Skyward. That's all that it means.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one that you put down.
Well, you're going to have to put both of them. So it would be a full year course. There is not, so in other words, there's not a semester only class that you can take as a ninth grader. Okay? Because you'll notice if you look at the sheet, you have intro to social science and topics in social science. I know it's a different description, but it is the full course just broken down by semester. Now, one thing you also notice here on the codes, which is the left column, is that if you see a C, a letter C, that's core 40. If you see an H, that's the honors course. Okay, that's the difference here. That's why it's coded differently. Okay. Maya, do you have another question? I saw your hand thing was up. I just want to make sure I didn't overlook you. Does anybody have any other questions concerning the scheduling process? As soon as I get more clarity about next week, I can give you more information. If you have something that is specific to a unique circumstance involving you in terms of I'm already at this level with this class and I just need to make sure I'm taking this next, or like a test out option, which I know some people bring up, that's something that is going to need to be directed to Bloomington North and Bloomington North only. That's not something that I or Mrs. Hyde or Miss Howell, the counselors here, could answer for you. Okay. I'm sorry about the abrupt ending to that. I'm glad that I had my iPad up, or otherwise everybody would be like, okay, we're done. So there is an exit ticket I want you to complete, just so I know that you were kind of tuned in with me. where I'm asking you to list 2 things that you learned about the Academy of Arts and Academy of Science and Entrepreneurship presentation. We're going to be back here tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit about our second semester approach when it comes to our topics and our curriculum, and also some of the bigger assignments that I'm hoping that we can do this semester. Is there any other questions before we depart? Okay, well, thanks for joining me. I will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And again, you can obviously send me a message. And if it's not something I can answer, I will definitely pass it along to those people that can, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.